Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. So, today, gather around. I want to talk to you about something that could completely transform your leadership journey if you're brave enough to embrace it. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever tried forcing your authority, your control, into a situation and then watch it blow up right in your face? Or even you felt that gut-wrenching discomfort when you know you need to change someone's mind or change the outcome, and yet the whole, well, I'm the boss approach just feels completely wrong. Yeah, yeah. I've been there, done that. Trust me. And here's the truth. If you're still trying to lead through command and control, you're playing a game that wasn't designed for you. That's not it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at how you can change how you lead through what's called soft power and why it's an absolute game changer, especially for women who are done pretending to be someone they're not, just to claim your rightful leadership space. So let's get into it. What is soft power? I mean, this is a term that was coined by Harvard professor Joseph Nye, and he used it in the context of international relations, applied by anybody. And today, I think it applies beautifully to not just your professional leadership, but also to personal leadership at the same time. You see, soft power is the ability to shape others' preferences and behaviors using attraction rather than coercion. I mean, it's leadership through influence, persuasion, connection, rather than the hardcore authority, demands, and control that you see a lot of times. I mean, think about leaders who've most inspired you in your life. Did they have to force you to follow them? Or did you find yourself naturally drawn and attracted to them because of their vision, their values, and their way of just being in this world? And that way, that magnetic pull that attracted you to them, that's soft power in action. And why does that matter, especially for women leaders? I mean, think about it. If you've ever been in leadership for more than 5 minutes, you've probably experienced this maddening reality. When you step into it and lead with direct authority, suddenly you're labeled aggressive, difficult, or my personal favorite, intimidating. And yet, when we step into it and play it softer, we then get labeled as not executive material or you're lacking presence. A Stanford study confirmed this was exactly what was going on. The same behavior that men use, that assertiveness, the control, that aggressiveness, really, resulted when women used it in a 35% penalty for women. Let me rephrase that. Let me say that again, even louder. A Stanford study confirmed exactly this. The same exact assertive behaviors that got men promoted resulted in a 35% leadership penalty for women. And guys, if you're shaking your head like I am, it's not just annoying, it's career sabotage. And frankly, I'm tired. I'm tired of watching brilliant women contort themselves trying to navigate this impossible maze. And yet, we do it because we want to make a difference. But we got to change our ways. We have to start small and do a little different pivot from what we've been trained and conditioned to do. And that's soft power, because soft power will leverage the skills that many of us have already mastered in our life. That emotional intelligence, which predicts 58% of leadership, that's soft power. That's the different path. I mean, it leverages skills many of us have already mastered. Emotional intelligence, which, according to the World Economic Forum, predicts 58% leadership success. It's also the skills we have in relationship building, communication finesse, cultural awareness, and it repositions all of these things as a strategic advantage, not just a nice feminine qualities that we have. Because make no mistake, this isn't about playing small or tiptoeing around conflict. We just have to come from a different place. And honestly, guys, this demands more courage than traditional leadership because you can't hide behind a title or authority. You have to show up fully, create genuine connection, and lead through power of your presence and ideas rather than your position. The difference is really in how you channel your own brilliance already. Let me share a personal example from my coaching practice. And one of my clients, we're going to call her Maya. I don't give out personal names in this. I like to keep the anonymity because it's a safe space in coaching with me. Well, she was struggling with an idea, a project that she wanted to get buy in for. It's a major initiative for her company. She initially tried the approach of what most of her male counterparts did, which was comprehensive data presentations, logical arguments. That worked for them. Why not work for her? And yet she kept getting resistance. She didn't understand why. So we looked at it from a different approach. We took on some of this soft skills, the soft power that she has. So instead of focusing on presenting her case, she pivoted. She began having one-on-one conversations, key stakeholders who began to understand what their concerns and priorities were when she was trying to hit them with the data. And rather than positioning herself as the expert with all the answers, she started bringing in her team members for collaboration sessions. They could bring a different view to it than what she had at that moment. And she also looked at key influencers in the organization and started talking to them, building those authentic relationships. She connected her initiative to personal values, aspirations, not only for herself, but of decision makers. And it wasn't just about business metrics. Took a little time, about 3 months, and that was when she recognized that she had the underlying foundational support that could get them on board with her initiative because she'd taken time, that soft power in action, to learn what the resistance was about. Instead of just pushing, 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 she met with them. She understood what the concerns were. She found out what their vision and values were and incorporated that into getting her initiative approved. And yeah, I know. It sounds like we have to work twice as hard or sometimes 3 times as hard as women to get that done. And we do. And there are benefits of leading with soft power. And it's not just trying to get your way through things, it's about understanding what it means to the collective. Because there's some research behind it. I want to read this. When you begin to use soft power instead of authority, your teams, the teams that you lead have a greater psychological safety. And that leads to more innovation, creative problem solving, and loyalty, just to be honest with you, because the organizations will see higher employee engagement and lower turnover because the teams that you lead begin to feel valued, not controlled. And leaders themselves, they basically say, you know what, this is, even though I have to work harder, it is easier for me in the long run. There's less burnout. They're not carrying the weight of driving outcomes on their shoulders. And the biggest and most important benefit behind it, having soft power creates a ripple effect. You're modeling what it means to be humane and human and compassionate and still get things done in the greatest way. That's an effective leadership that others want to mimic. So when I look at it and I look at soft power, it's not about being soft. That's not what it is. It's about being smart, strategic, about how you create change and you impact the world. So, if you've been feeling like you have to choose between being effective and being authentic in your leadership, I'm here to tell you you want to adopt soft power. That's the option you've been looking for. So, I'm going to continue these videos, and next week I'm going to share specific techniques for developing your soft power capacity. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And if this does resonate with you, I'd love to hear about your experiences with soft power. Put it in the comments below. When have you seen influence work where authority failed? Until next time, remember your leadership doesn't need to look like anyone else's to change the world. It just needs to be your own. See you next time.